Liz Truss has already lost the confidence of her fellow Tories, it seems.
Well, certainly according to the Mirror, they're not giving Truss much of a chance, I can't help but feel. Some Tory MPs submit no confidence letters in Truss after pound crashes. Sources claim, one MP who served as a minister under Boris Johnson told Sky, Liz is F and then lots of stars. She's taking on markets and the Bank of England. And, of course, this is the issue, that they're at odds with the Bank of England when it comes to interest rates. I know from speaking to people at the Bank of England how much they hated Boris, so I can only imagine how much they hate this radical budget everyone's freaking out about, the ideological budget where they did some vaguely Thatcherite tax cuts, which has driven everyone mad. And everyone's panicking about the interest rates because, of course, if you've got a mortgage and it goes up, which is funny because when I was growing up, interest rates are higher, and then they went low and everyone panics, but now everyone's panicking.
Well, they've been absurdly low for a long time. They are obviously going to come up over the course of the next 2 or 3 years. I have a mortgage. I'm not thrilled about it, and house prices are largely, an artefact, a function of mortgages, mortgage rates, and so on. But they can't carry on for this long, and everyone's been saying for a long time house prices are too high anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I think I'm on the other side of this gap because I did a little calculator of how I'm going to benefit from these cuts. I'm going to have a few £100 extra in the year, basically, and whereas you're going to be in trouble because
as long as you don't go abroad on your holidays.
Which
but
I never will.
I saw, for instance, and obviously every source of information is biased in its own way, but the Institute of Economic Affairs, Kate Andrews on Twitter today, saying that she would think that this is a feature, not a bug, that Liz Truss will be expecting the Bank of England to raise the interest rates, which is part of the scheme they want.
Yeah,
anyway.
Well, some people even claim that meant that Kwasi Kwarteng kind of passed it off onto the Bank of England to let them do the hard bit.
Yeah, well, they do have to do that bit. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, you were saying during the headlines that, the pound has rallied, but the fact is it did hit an all-time low.
Oh,
That's not a good thing.
Well, there was a panic, but I think essentially what happened was there was jitters, and there was when there's a vertical slide, very often, it happened with stock market crashes as well. There's a vertical slide because everyone can see that there is a panic afoot, But by the end of the day, it's back up to where it started.
Well, it's still a bit below. I mean, it's not. Yeah. I'm just saying it's not good.
It went from 1.08 down to 1.03, I think, at the lowest, and it's now back up to 1.07. Yeah. But I would also say every single currency is currently tanking against the dollar. Why that should be is another question, more interesting one. But we have pretty much maintained parity with the euro as where we were before.
Well, I think this particular story is about how the Tory MPs are worried about the optics. Because, of course, in this cost of living crisis, to lower taxes for the wealthiest just plays into Labour's hands. And just a YouGov poll, The Times, this afternoon, says that 72% of voters are against that particular cut for the 45 p cut, and also 69% of Tory voters are against it. So it doesn't have much support.
No, it's not a popular. It's not a vote winner on the surface of it. It has to have an effect, doesn't it, in order to win? Yeah. I mean, I think we'll see in due course. I would take calls for her to be exposed to a vote of no confidence with quite a lot of salt. But next up is the Telegraph. The pound plunges lower than Nick standards. The banks are taking drastic measures, Josh. Same story, but...
the banks pull mortgages from sale amid interest rate chaos. So Halifax, which is the biggest lender, have basically taken some of their stuff off the market, the ones that have fees, because if you pay a fee, you're going to get usually a lower interest rate.
Yeah.
And because of the turmoil that's going on, and they're not the only lender that's doing this, I think we've got Clydesdale Bank, Scottish Building Society, Paragon, Leak, United Building and Virgin Money, all of them by the end of the day were essentially pulling those products because, if they do, it's like with the heating, when the heating went up, and then certain companies...
I mean, they'll certainly be... they would be hesitant to offer a long-term deal on a low interest rate.
And so next year, as we were talking about, I think you've got 1 million homeowners going to be coming to the end of their fixed-rate deal. And for those homeowners, they're going to see a massive shift of increase in their mortgage.
Well, there is a good chance that some people have taken out a slightly larger mortgage than they could really afford if interest rates return to normal. But on the other hand, those people have probably, as a result, taken out a larger amount of money than they really should have done, which means they've been exposed to house price increases, which will have earned them a lot of money, and so now they're going to feel the sharp end of the same calculation. But they've probably, in a way, if they've bought houses, say, 5 years ago, they've done all right out of the last 5 years, even though people thought they might not.
It may be long term, but when it comes to at a time where bills have gone up hugely anyway, to suddenly find yourself with a massive mortgage bill coming in every month is going to be a big shock to people.
It is.
Yeah. You can tell which the homeowning side of the table is. But no, it is a serious... I don't have a mortgage. It is a serious... I just own outright. It's a serious problem, but I look forward to having this luxury problem.
Well, there's no way of solving this problem without causing pain to some people. Some things aren't not everything is a zero-sum game. Obviously, if the economy grows and everyone gets wealthy and there are loads of jobs and we can all join in the prosperity. But in terms of house prices, if they're to be corrected, if they're to be brought down to within an affordable level, that means other people's, equity is going to be diminished, or it means that they're going to struggle to pay their mortgage. A lot of people, I remember in 2008, we were all braced for, a house price crash. Homeowners were supposed to be taking it on the chin. Instead, what happened was sterling crashed. House prices didn't go down nearly as much as people expected. Mortgage rates sank to virtually zero, where they've been for the last, 14 years now, and homeowners have just absolutely been coining it.
I know, but that's how people like myself got onto the ladder, because the mortgage was so low.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be like, now we're actually going to have to pay for it.
That's right.